Matt Costa, who you all just saw on camera, defeat Ryan Overturf.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, playing. You were telling me you're playing a lot of blue deck mirrors.
Yeah, I played 3 rug mirrors in the legacy portion and just played a blue-white mirror. So
it seems. I mean, I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised about that, but it's continuing your form from the last Invitational.
Yeah, I played 7 blue-white Delver mirrors at the last Invitational. So.
It didn't seem to do too bad for you last time, so.
It's all right. I don't mind it.
Yeah, I feel like I think you were just talking with Dave about how, like, if you had the choice, or if Dave had the choice, that's all he would want.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but
he's more afraid of some of the aggro decks than I am, but I definitely don't mind playing the mirror. I have a plan and everything.
Sure. So tell me a little bit, since I have you here, and you are, I would venture to say, at least one of the 5 best people to talk to about blue-white Delver. Right here at the end of the Delver summer as we know it.
Yeah.
We've got Talrand, Geist, Blade Splicer. We've got the mono blue option. We could splash for Quirion Dryad. Okay. What's the best, and like how close is it?
Well, rule number 1 is play 4 Geist. It's just like inexcusable not to. It's, you know, the best threat. Because of all the vapor snags going around, hexproof is a big deal. You know, costing 3 versus 4, like it does everything. I'm playing Restoration Angels today, like I have been forever. I just don't really like. I think that the deck doesn't need another threat like Talrand, where the point is like you tap out on your main phase and it wins you the game. Like you have that in Geist, you have that to an extent in your equipment. So I just like the instant speed aspect of Angel. I think it's better against all the beatdown decks. So and honestly, like Blade Splicer in my mind has kind of fallen off the map simply because you can't grind out the beatdown decks anymore. They're a better Blade Splicer deck than you are, you kind of have to be aggressive, and you can't really fight the same fight that we were fighting maybe 3 months ago, where you were boarding and control cards and all that.
Now, in comparison to 3 months ago, you've got Sword of War and Peace against Runechanter's Pike, and or not playing any of those things. What's your opinion on that?
I'm playing 2 pikes and 1 sword. I think I've been playing 3 pikes like online up until this tournament. I just thought that some of the Lingering Souls control decks would be probably overrepresented. In particular, I can think of a few like really good players who were playing that deck, so I wanted a little bit of an edge there that I might not want in a totally open field. In general, I think like Moorland Haunt's one of the better cards in the deck, and you want to maximize just your equipment. I think Pike is capable of stealing games in a way that like basically no other card can, and I wouldn't really ever want to sacrifice that.
Yeah, and it also allows you to play Moorland Haunt, where if you're playing Moorland Haunt without Pike or Sword, you're sort of doing it wrong.
Yeah,
I think.
They're definitely a package. Yeah. You know, you don't play Pike without Haunt, and you certainly don't play Haunt without Pike.
And so, you know, it's sort of a trade-off, I suppose, where you can either have you can skimp on the mana and skimp on the spells sort of thing, and sort of go the Talrand route, I suppose, or you can do the more traditional route that you're going all the way back to Restoration Angel, which had fallen out of favor, really. Why do you think that people had sort of just completely, for a while, I hadn't seen a Restoration Angel in a Delver deck for a couple weeks in a row, and then it came back in the last like week, I think.
Well, I mean, it's really been there online the whole time.
Okay.
And I think it's sort of
silly me not paying attention.
Sort of just this thing where people want to like keep moving forward to an extent, and you know, if they show up to a tournament with a list that looks too similar to what they were playing 3 weeks ago, it feels wrong. It feels like they should have made progress, and I think that, you know, either list is fine. Whatever you're comfortable with is probably better. I like Angel more, and I don't care that this deck is like the same 75 or close to it that I played 2 weeks ago. You know, the format is kind of hammered to death at this point, and you know, the decks haven't really changed very much in 2 weeks. Maybe the numbers of who's playing what decks have changed, but you know, for the most part, the lists are the same as they were.
Sure. And now you were 4-0 in Legacy, playing Rug Delver.
Yep.
Similar to what you've been playing in the past? Any changes at all?
I put Spell Snare back in for this weekend. You know, I had a Dismember for a while. Didn't really want 7 removal spells. I thought there'd be a lot of miracles. Small stuff like that. Sideboard's a little bit different. I went up to 3 Sulfuric Vortex for the same reason. and I overloaded. I have a mine harness as well, so I have 6 removable spells on my sideboard for Maverick. So it's really the sideboard is like less random cards and more like cards for the 3 decks I expect to play against.
Right. And so you expected the legacy metagame to be Maverick, Miracles, Rugdoll.
Yeah, and I thought that Miracles would outpace Stoneforge by quite a bit. So
not a lot of show and tell.
It's going to be the most played combo deck, and I played it round 1 of this tournament, but I don't think it's actually going to be a huge portion of the field. And I also just think in general that, you know, Rug only has so many things it can do against show and tell, and I pretty much have those covered. So there's no, I couldn't think of another card that was like, man, this is what really beats that.
Fair enough.
Just more counter spells. And
now, we have a new set coming out. I don't know if you heard about this, but
yeah, someone mentioned
somebody probably mentioned it in passing, I'm sure. And pretty much, not all, but almost all of Delver is going away as we know it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but so do you think that you can rebuild around Delver of Secrets and Geist and the few remaining pieces that are left, or is losing Mana Leak and Vapor Snag and all the Phyrexian mana spells, is that too much to overcome, and that Delver either is no longer a deck or has to head in a different direction, maybe be blue-red or blue-red-white or something like that?
I think the card that loses the most from all of it is Delver. Like Geist, I think Geist actually gets better. Like there's no Phantasmal Image, there's no Metamorph, there's no Whip Flare,
right? Like
no Slagstorm. You know, it's really, and what there is, you know, I mean, Supreme Verdict is a thing, but I think Geist improves a lot actually. And the problem with Delver is like you don't have Ponder, you don't have Probe. I can't imagine these decks having the same like density of spells that they did before, simply because like you can't play a 19 land deck without all those cantrips. So I could see playing a tempo deck. I'd probably start with Geist and go from there. And if Delver ends up in it, then that's the thing. You know, maybe we reevaluate Delver 2 sets down the line if they print enough cheap cantrips to get it going.
Yeah, losing Ponder, of course, being maybe the biggest.
Absolutely the biggest. And I also just think in general, like Supreme Verdict is awesome. I'm pretty excited to play some control decks again. So
excellent. Yeah. Well, yeah, your pairings just got announced. I want to thank you for joining me in the sideboard, Matt Costa. Good luck. We're going to toss it back to